Straight to the virus that has created a global panic and has now claimed over 100 lives in China and more than 4,500 people contracting the disease so far. There have been 1,300 new cases so far in the last 24 hours. In a shocking revelation, China's Health Commission has now said that even people without symptoms can test positive for the virus.
那么在散发病例密切接触者中，我们也观察到了有一些可能会出现无症状的感染者，也就是说他没有症状，但是做核酸检测是阳性的。还有一些病人我们也看到了他的这个症状，比如讲发热不明显，只有偶尔的干咳或者因为乏力。那么我想这些病人发现呢，也是因为我们主动搜索。
And in a rather controversial statement, the mayor of Wuhan city has accepted that the city's management of the outbreak was just not good enough. He said that China needs to improve its emergency management skills.
Facing a sudden virus outbreak, our continuous work wasn't performed well enough. I feel that our capability of dealing with the crisis needs to be improved. Just as President Zee proposed, we need to modernize our governing capability and system. One of the most important aspects of modernization of governing capabilities is to manage our resources properly. And we also need to improve our emergency management skills.
Meanwhile, the Chinese regime is currently scrambling to contain the outbreak. Yesterday, China's Premier Li Keqiang visited Wuhan. He was seen carrying out inspections of what looked like medical facilities in the city. Li Keqiang is the head of the government's coronavirus task force and is the second most powerful man in China after President Xi Jinping. And now we're being joined by an Indian professional working in Beijing, Shubham Pal, joining us live on the broadcaster. Thank you so much for being with us here on WION World is One. Shubham, I want to begin by asking you, tell us, you're talking to us from Beijing, how exactly is the situation in Beijing? We've had reports coming in from Wuhan being under complete lockdown. How bad has Beijing been hit?
See, to be honest, like Wuhan has been locked down, but Beijing is, I would say, like life is quite normal in the sense because it's Spring Festival holidays at this moment, and the Chinese authorities, they have extended the holidays until February 2nd. So that's why there are not too many people in Beijing. And in this point of time, every year you won't find too many people in Beijing because everybody goes back to their native places and hometowns. So that's why there is hardly any crowd in Beijing at this moment. And people are staying at home mostly because the schools and other institutions are already, they have extended their leaves until February, late February, mid-February. So that's why not too many people, but at this moment the subways are running quite smoothly, and the public transport system is also running smoothly, but there are hardly any people can be seen on the road. Some convenience stores are open, so that's why you can procure the essential stuff, essential goods. But yeah, there is checkpoints, thermal screening in most of the public places like subway stations and at the airport. So that's why, though it's quite normal, but it's absolutely, at this moment, Beijing is looking very deserted because of the scare, and also because not too many people are around in Beijing because of the Spring Festival holidays. Yes.
And what are the precautions that you are taking at this point in time, in terms on a day-to-day basis? How much has life changed?
Yes, because this is quite serious, the virus, and it's quite a pandemic. But more than that, I would say that infodemic and panicdemic are causing more concerns because people are like sharing lots of misinformation, wrong information here and there in social media and all the places. So that's why, like, we're trying to prevent as much as, misinformation being spread, because we are in constant touch with the Indian embassy. They are helping out the fellow Indians here, and they are reaching out to most of the Indians, and they are in touch with most of them. And we are also kind of, we have our individual community groups and all, so we are reaching out to people. People are wearing masks, but one good thing about this virus is it's not airborne. So that's why, like, if you clean up your hands, you don't, it's a human contact. Human to human contact actually spreads this virus. So that's why if you're wearing mask, if you're not sneezing, coughing in front of another individual, so I think you are safe. But mostly everybody is advised to stay at home. And the public places like the museums, the Great Wall, those are shut at this moment. The administration and the authorities are not allowing anybody to go there. So in a way, they are containing through these kind of measurements. And also in every apartment block, I can see that there are thermal screening devices with the security personnel and guards. So that's why, like that way also, they are trying to contain as much as they can. But the upcoming days will be very crucial once the Spring Festival gets over and people return to Beijing. So we need to wait and watch.
We need to wait and watch. As the word coming from Shubham Pal, joining us live from Beijing on the broadcast here on WION World is one. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your experience.